Leo, I'm here to give you a wild card read straight from the hip with lots of lips. And we are going to do a Crosswatchers edition read here where we're seeing what are people saying about you, Leo? What is their current opinion of you and the mutual situations that you're facing with each other? This is an opportunity to get to see yourself through the Crosswatchers' eyes, but we're not going to just leave you with their words without you getting an opportunity to address what they have to bring forward. We're going to let you have your clap back, but we're going to open this up first with the Crosswatchers perspective. This is for any significant Leo placement in the chart: Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, a significant placement in the 5th house, or if you are a Virgo rising, that makes you a Leo descendant. And you may find this speaks to you particularly strongly in matters of the heart. Okay, so let's see, what do the Crosswatchers have to say to Leo? What do the Crosswatchers have to say to Leo? What do the Crosswatchers have to say to Leo? What's their hot take on Leo? All right. Well, we got a 10 of hearts here in the light. All right, so this is off to a good start. Someone here has a lot of love for you. Someone here sees you as their fulfillment, but they feel like you're blocking their advances and they don't understand why. With the 2 of spades coming up in the shadow, they feel like you've cut this off with the Queen of Spades here. Okay, this is air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they don't understand what the issue is. This person was hoping to heal this situation with you, but it seems like they just can't seem to get this to move forward. They can't seem to get this to balance out between the 2 of you. And this person wishes you would let down your guard, but they feel like you just got a bunch of walls up. This likely has something to do with a third party, okay? And that's why you got those walls up. This person feels totally stressed and pressed about this, though, with the 9 of spades coming up in reverse. You know, they just feel like this anxiety, this stress they have about this situation with you has gone on for so long. They don't know what to do to turn it around. And this person is feeling like you've gone really cold in this situation. You could actually be dealing with a Queen of Spades who's gone very cold. You may feel like they're kind of bitchy in association with this situation. Okay, that would be air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's let this be the first Crosswatcher, okay? Because we had that energy come out a couple of times on the board. First, it came out in the light, then it comes out in the shadow. So I have a feeling that you've seen both sides of this person. You've seen their light and you've seen their shadow. This could be somebody that you used to be connected to. This could be somebody that was a lover of yours. This could be a friend of yours. This could be somebody that you worked with in some capacity before. You used to be on friendly terms. Maybe you're not anymore. There could be some real harsh words coming from this person, harsh judgments I just got. There's definitely been like some kind of severing of ties in this situation. So let's see what this is about, okay? It looks like the Queen of Spades is coming up first. What does this Queen of Spades have to say to Leo? What does this Queen of Spades have to say to Leo? What does this Queen of Spades have to say to Leo? What does this Queen of Spades want Leo to know? Well, bottom of the deck, we have the Joker coming up here, coming up in the shadow. So they feel like there's something shady that's been going on here that involves you. They feel like you've been up to some funny business and that this has really affected their security. I'm getting security specifically that they feel like you tried to keep something in the dark, hidden behind the scenes. They feel like it's not in the dark anymore. They've become alerted to this. Again, they feel like you were messing with their security. Something foundational for them. This could be anything from causing problems within the home to affecting their work, okay? Maybe you work together. Again, there's something here. We got the Joker coming up again in the light. So it looks like there's some kind of turnaround energy in this situation. This is what the Queen of Spades has to say. It's sort of like, you know, pride comes before a fall is what I'm hearing the Queen of Spades say. You may think that you were successful in something or you got to come out ahead, but look for those tables to turn, right? And right behind that, we got a King of Diamonds coming in here. So I'm going to put him on the board as well. Let me do a little more shuffling here and see anything else that this Queen of Spades wants to add. Anything else this Queen of Spades wants to add? Ooh, okay. We just had this. I already know what card that is, okay? It's the Three of Clubs, and it's landing in the crossed position. Let me see. I want to show you here, okay, just so you can see. This is the Three of Clubs. It's really worse for the wearer, and it looks like it's heading south, okay? So this is them talking about they feel like you blocked something, that you intentionally got in the way of something that was supposed to come in for them. And it is heading south. So it looks like what used to be coming in is now turning in the other direction. And they feel that you played a role in that. Now it landed on top of the tarot here. I'm going to take this top card and we'll see what it has to say. This could have something to do with the King of Wands energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So this looks like they feel that you came in between this King of Wands and them in some way. We do have a King of Diamonds that is looking in the direction of the Queen of Spades in the shadow, okay? And what's interesting is, see, this is the Queen of Spades perspective here. She's like, this person is now moving in a different direction from me, and at one point was coming in for me. And so this has something to do with your interference in their mind. They feel like you were interfering in this situation. Now, what's really interesting here is that we have the Queen of Spades and the King of Diamonds are facing each other, all right? So there's somebody here, this would be like earth sign energy. I went to say fire, so I don't know. Maybe it's somebody that's got fire and earth in their chart that is looking in this person's direction. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay, so this character is looking at this Queen of Spades and they are facing each other. I get that this, I think you all are interconnected in some way. So this King of Diamonds here feels like this Queen of Spades has really gone cold in this situation. So let's figure out what's going on here. First of all, I want to just suss out this situation here. This King of Wands, I don't know if it's like the same person. I don't know if it's the same person because I did get fire and earth. So let's see. I want to just do a clarification on this first, just to get really clear on this part of the story here. Is the King of Diamonds and the King of Wands the same person? We're going to do a cut of the deck on this. Is the King of Diamonds and the King of Wands the same person? Joker in reverse energy. Okay, so this is the disruption and the security. So I would say yes. That's kind of an interesting piece there. This Queen of Spades may not realize that this King of Diamonds is still looking in their direction. They actually haven't stopped looking in their direction, but it's their perception that they have. So I'm not sure why that's their perception in this situation, but they do have this sense that in some way they feel like you've interfered in something coming in for them that was meant for them. And it's in association with this King of Wands, King of Diamonds energy. So this would be earth fire combo, okay? Again, when I got this coming in, it clarifies, it's always to me feels like it's within the big four, okay? So this would be like their sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign, earth, fire, all right? Masculine, somebody who is likely very independent, somebody who's very opinionated. I got this, okay? They also have their mind on their money and their money on their mind. This is somebody that really focuses on the material. It's something that's important to them. This person can be all about business too. This could be a business situation. This could be a situation where somebody feels like they were due the promotion or the level up in the company and they feel like you unfairly edged them out in some way, maybe manipulated the situation to your advantage. And so this affected their position. within this job, also affected them financially, rocked their stability a little bit. I could see this, okay, this being about this kind of a situation here. We do have this, like, you know, energy here where it looks like it's primarily focused in the direction of money, business so far. I mean, there is like indications of disappointment, you know, wishing that there was, you know, some kind of camaraderie, but this could be a situation where, you know, maybe this is somebody you worked with, you did business with. It felt really good at one point. It felt like there was like some kind of synergy, and now there's like a little cattiness going on because somebody feels like you edged them out for a position that they feel was supposed to be theirs, but they feel like there's like some kind of kiss up energy there, or like you manipulated the situation in some way. Like there's something you did that was like an unfair advantage, almost like you totally like edged them out, but in a way that was like not fair. Like something wasn't quite right there, okay? So I'm not sure what this is, but it's interesting because we still have this King of Diamonds looking in their direction, you know? Maybe they're blaming you for something that really has nothing to do with you, all right? And maybe they haven't been edged out at all, but this King of Diamonds has a different plan for them. Could be possible in a work situation. So far, it's very monetarily business oriented, all right? Let me figure out what's going on with this King of Wands, King of Diamonds. They're obviously the same character. So tell me, who is this King of Wands, King of Diamonds to this Queen of Spades in the shadow that Leo needs to be aware of, all right? Crossing just fell on top of this other tarot card again. Keeps flying over into the direction of this tarot deck, so I'm going to take that card too. Queen of Hearts, okay? So this is somebody that we're romantically involved with, right? That's who this King of Wands is. This is like got a love vibe, okay? There's still a monetary piece here, so I don't know if this is like somebody that was romantically involved with somebody at your work. I don't know if this is somebody who likes to, you know, have those like office romances or whatever. Maybe, you know, it is a King of Wands energy, so maybe they don't mind, you know, kind of sampling and you maybe sometimes it can make things a little bit messy because it's all within the work arena. Like this might be somebody who really likes to go for people they work with. You know, it's something that can frequently happen because when you're working with people, it's like often you have a lot of common interests, plus you're spending a lot of time with each other. So, you know, office romances are a thing that happens. This has kind of like hookup energy, but I'm going to look at this top card here. Yeah, look at this. 8 of Swords, you know. This person really feels like restricted in this situation, held back, you know. And they feel like they're not able to connect with this King of Wands, that something's come in between them and this person. And they feel like what's come in between them is you. So there is a romantic piece here where this isn't going on, you know, in the sense of going on within a like a work situation where there's like office romance stuff going on, and you got some like Lothario, you know, some Mac daddies like going around and messing around with multiple cold coworkers, and now it's starting like a cat fight kind of energy. This would be a situation where perhaps this Queen of Spades in the shadow experienced some kind of separation from this King of Wands, and feels like very held back and restricted in the connection. Also feels a little stuck in a situation they'd rather not be in. This might have really affected their stability, their security, might have affected their home, might have adversely affected their finances in some way, and they feel like you're the one who's at the root of the problem in some way, shape, or form. They're blaming this on you, all right? Who is this Queen of Spades in the shadow to this King of Wands? Let's just clarify this. Who is this Queen of Spades in the shadow to this King of Wands? Somebody that they used to be in alignment with, but they're not anymore, with the theory of 11 in reverse, okay? So this person is acknowledging that they used to be in alignment with this person, but they no longer are. Bottom of the deck energy, they see this person as independent, building for themselves with the 9 of diamonds, all right? And they also feel like they've been unfairly stuck here. I mean, seems to be agreement here. There's been something that's kept this situation bound up, stuck, okay, with the 8 of spades coming up in the shadow. For some, not all, I'm probably going to have to pull out the deck because it's coming in. There could be in circles where there's people who work magic. Somebody could be saying here that there was some kind of binding work done, something that was like blocking work that was purposefully trying to drive a wedge between these two people or keep them from interacting with each other, some type of control work, okay, that you're being blamed for. All right, that's the situation. There feels like there's some kind of outside restriction. Now, going beyond that, I'll check into that, all right? We'll pull out the occult tarot and we'll look at that. Going beyond the confines of that, though, this could also be that they feel like you're stirring the pot in some kind of dissension, like within the social circle, within a family structure or something, is creating some kind of roadblock, complication to this situation being able to be worked out and come together, all right? They seem to agree. The King of Wands is agreeing that, yes, something has unfairly put restrictions on this situation. They seem to be in agreement with that. And it is the thing that has caused the situation to go out of alignment. Now, whether they blame you or not, I don't know. I'm going to first give you an opportunity to address the Queen of Spades in the shadow, Leo. And after that's addressed, then I'm going to find out what the King of Wands wants to say to you, okay? King of Wands, King of Diamonds, okay? This is probably somebody who is either a business owner or they're pretty established, pretty stable, financially stable, you know, in a secure position. I also feel like they're a very independent energy, okay? This is not somebody you can kind of like tell what to do. They do what they want, you know, and they really highly value their independence. They don't make a commitment easily in relationships. Even in the case of a business investor, they don't make any kind of commitments easily. This is somebody who likes to forge their own way. They're very independent in thought. And so if they do commit to something, it's because they really believe in it. So in the case on the job, I would say the reality of this situation is, if this is a work situation that's gotten a little messy because there's also some kind of like office flirtation or office hookups involved, I don't think that this person has been passed by for an opportunity like they were promised. They may have seen you advance sooner and made some assumptions, okay? They may have like jumped to their own conclusions, but I feel like they're still under review for the opportunity that's available to them. This person's still like got their eyes on this person and it's sort of like gauging their performance before they're making a decision on whether they want to invest in like leveling them up to the next position. Romantically, I feel like this person also feels like, and I think that's where the restriction is coming in terms of work there. It's like there's like a restriction period when somebody's being reviewed, you know, there can't be any advancement, all right? So this might be somebody just feeling a little bit, they might be feeling a little bit like, hey, you know, why are they advancing? Why is Leo advancing when I'm sitting here, you know, and I was supposed to be up next? But they may not understand that they're just, you know, everything happens in due time and your time was up, you know, for all they know, you'd been, you know, up for something a lot longer than them and that they're not even aware of, all right? So it looks like this could be a case of miscommunication in that regard. In matters of romance, I feel like it's a situation where the King of Wands agrees with the Queen of Spades. Maybe feels like the Queen of Spades is being a little bit hostile, a little overly hostile in this situation, but they do agree there's been some unfair like interference, restriction in this matter that's made things kind of fall out of alignment. They're still looking in this direction though, so that's very interesting. And there is some kind of like divine play going on here where there will be some turnaround in matters that were held up. I get that. It's a little bit of like, you know, sometimes life is very tongue-in-cheek in its humor. It makes people think that, you know, they missed out on something when they really didn't, but they needed to be under that impression to kind of like get a different perspective, learn something about themselves or the people that they're dealing with. So it's got this kind of vibe, like sort of like a real mix-up, miscommunication, misunderstanding situation here. But there is something here. I have to bring it up. It is coming up here with the 7 of spades to the 2 of hearts, 7 of spades in the shadow. Like somebody here has been doing something unfair. Like somebody has been doing something to actively drive 2 people apart. Okay. You can't see it, but there's a crease in this card. It's like a dividing line that's been created by outside interference in a relationship. That's my card that symbolizes that. So, you know, this does seem to be coming forward here, that something's been a little foul. Like somebody was sneaking around, somebody was doing something, you know, behind the scenes. And so this does seem to be the perspective, but it does look like there's a turnaround in this situation. All right, Leo, what do you have to say to this Queen of Spades in the shadow? Who used to be in the light. Looks like you guys used to be on good terms with each other, but you're not on good terms anymore. You're butting heads in some way. There's some kind of disagreement, likely around a King of Wands. I mean, that's, isn't that the usual? There's always some fire in the mix when you got this kind of action going on. So let's see what you have to say to this Queen of Spades, okay? It's interesting. You're saying, I feel stuck too. 8 of Spades coming to light. You know, you're like, I feel like, you know, the beginning that I was supposed to have in love got sabotaged as well. You're both seeing it the same way. You both reflecting like, where's my growth? My growth got stunted in this situation. And then it's funny here because we got the Queen of Hearts in the shadow. Okay, so you feel like, this is interesting. You feel like you want what you want. That's what I got. You want what you want, and you kind of don't care. This is a little bit of facing off kind of energy. Like you're like, yeah, and so what? All's fair in love and war. It's got those kind of vibes. All's fair in love and war. And it's almost like you're saying, I'm not going to give up either. I'm going to keep pressing ahead with the Ace of Spades in reverse. You're determined, you're hell-bent to end this separation between who you think you belong with, 2323 on the clock. That's a little bit of chaos in play here, okay? I just heard chaos magic, so I don't know, some of you Leos might work like that, but you see this as your future. You feel like this King of Wands is your future, and you feel like this person is every bit as much a thorn in your side as they think you are to them. So, you know, this is a situation where you got like third party dynamic that's causing a disappointment in this situation, all right? Coming to light. Maybe this came to light. This person didn't, one or both of you didn't know about the other, then something came to light, and this is sort of like the after effects of this causing a mess. If this is going on the job, it's causing a lot of problems, and it's really threatening some people's positions, to be honest with you. Like there could be a lot of losses if this doesn't get straightened out, but it's funny because there's like divine play in this situation. So what I got here, this is the second time the Joker's shown up in the light in reverse. And that's always my signal that where somebody was done wrong, whoever did whoever wrong, that energy is about to flip up and reverse in this situation. So Leo, if you've been totally, you know, honestly in the right in this situation, and you've been keeping your nose clean, and you feel like this is something that was interfered with and you don't have any accountability in this situation, then do know that those tables will turn, and what was supposed to come in for you will. You know, you'll be able to have this work out. That disappointment will turn around. But if you're the one who pulled this, I mean, you are coming in a little bit with this like all is fair in love and war energy. This might get really flipped around, and you might be surprised with the way everything pans out in this situation. Now, I get that you feel like very defensive of this with the 7 of clubs in the shadow. You're like, I will defend this. It's almost like it's a matter of stubbornness for you. You're like so like you're so hedged in at this point that it's like you're not willing to like give this up. You're like, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna stop. And it's almost like I'm getting this is it's like if this person were to move on, cool, you know, move on with whoever you want to move on with. But it's almost like you feel, but you can't move on with them. Of all people, if you move on with them, I have a big problem with that. So maybe there's some old grudge energy or something in association with this. You really don't want to see these two people getting on the same page with each other. That's what I gather. This Queen of Spades to the King of Wands. You're like, nope, nope. It's fine if it's anybody else, but not this person. It's like, that's where I draw my line. And I feel like you don't care. You'll take the heat for it. You're in a very like, this is a defensive posturing, especially coming up in the shadow. It can verge on aggressive. And this can be even aggressively trying to block this from happening. All right. At this point, I really, before we go into this matter with the King of Wands, King of Diamonds, I really want to dip into the occult tarot here on this situation. There's a lot of active blocking indicated here. This could have something to do with messages involving a Sagittarius energy. We got Page of Wands on the bottom of the deck there. Okay, Page of Wands is a quintessential Sagittarius card, but it also talks about like the beginning of communication, messages being exchanged, things of this nature. And it says gives answers concerning past, present, and future. But it also says can make one invisible. All right. So you may feel like this person, when you ask them about, you know, this Queen of Spades, that they gave you all the answers that you wanted to hear. This also could be something that's about to go down in Sagittarius season, which we just started. All right. So you might, you know, notice some communication opening up with this King of Wands energy. You're asking them questions about this Queen of Spades, perhaps. They're giving you all the answers. It all sounds good. It all checks, you know, on the surface, but you feel like there's stuff he's hiding, okay? You feel like you're not getting the full truth. Let's see what the deal is here, though. I want to look into, is there any active workings in place in this situation? Has anybody been doing blocking work in this situation? Now, in reality, the only time workings are effective is if you make an energetic agreement with it. Like you have to be willing to take on the energy. Nobody can block you unless you allow them to block you, all right? But it's amazing the power of belief and how that can affect people to move forward. Belief will really keep people trapped when, you know, there's maybe there is somebody who's, you know, doing mirror work or, you know, lighting candles and, you know, I mean, the reality is there are people out there that do that stuff. Botanicas are big business. And let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff that you can have done that it really shows like the underbelly of psychology. A lot of people out there, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, there's so many people who really don't understand that control has no part of love, right? So it's crazy the kind of workings that people will pay for and what people will ask for. So I want to look at this. But then again, you know, you don't have to take the energy on. Unfortunately, though, if somebody is in a space where, you know, they're tired or maybe they've been going through a lot and just their reserves are low, it can make them more apt to like take on other people's energy inadvertently. So, you know, can you ever be affected? Yes. But in some way, either you didn't have good energetic boundaries or, you know, you got caught up in drama. And so you made an energetic agreement with that situation. And that's why it's having an adverse effect. Have there been any workings in this situation? Bottom of the deck energy, the Empress. Procures the love of a woman of any age. Tells where treasures are hidden. Tells of the past, present, or future. If there's any workings that have been done, they are workings that would have been done toward an Empress, okay? And it would have been to try to achieve the love of a woman, all right? This could be somebody who is viewed as a unicorn in this situation, like the other party, all right? This could have been somebody that at one point was just like a sexual liaison, you know, somebody that they like to hook up with, but it never went beyond that. This person could be involved in the music scene in some regard, okay? Because it says here, causes any manner of music to be played. Maybe this person's even been inspired to write songs about this person. It seems like there is, you know, somebody here who's had their eyes on somebody that they had a sexual connection with, it looks like at one point, all right? This could have been the King of Wands. It is that horse energy. Again, it brings forward Sagittarius energy. This person could be involved in the music scene. It could be somebody they've met on the music scene in some way. That's possible, or may run in those circuits, okay? And there's this piece here about, you know, these people shared a connection. Looks like it was probably sexual, though. If there was any workings done, it was done towards this Empress. So an Empress can be somebody that is, you know, a mother of someone's child. It can be, you know, a baby's mama. It can also be a Taurus. It can be a Libra. It can also just be anybody who is really balanced and in that place where they've integrated the lessons of the four suits, the swords, the wands, the cups, and the pentacles, all right? So this is a very balanced person who's done their work. They're very much in a stable position, and this is somebody who is, you know, taking charge of their life. There does seem to be a real independent energy around this person. So if there were any workings done, it was done to affect this Empress, all right? More details on this, more details about this working. It looks like some kind of love working, something to affect the love life of the Empress. More details, please. We're not going to stay on this long, but I do want to track it for a moment here. It is broad, Coven, so I know there are people who want to know about this kind of stuff. You may suspect this. It does seem to be, you know, what seems to be kind of a suspicion that's on the table. So maybe a lot of you run in a circle. It says the moon. I mean, it looks like that's like a sure sign of like moon magic when I'm asking these kind of questions. Also could be a Pisces involved in that with the moon coming out there. Makes manifest the apparitions of demons. Ooh, sets demons. Ooh, and with that, the light just went out. Oh my goodness. Sets demons upon men to destroy them with vices. Yeah. This is somebody who was trying to manipulate a situation. This is moon energy. So this could be either Cancer. It could also be Pisces. This could also be somebody who is working with the lunar cycles. And what card do we got here? Two of Swords, to block love. Yep, builds towers and provides weapons and ammunition. All right, so this is like, this has been like defensive magic to block some kind of coming together in a situation. And it looks like somebody, you know, somebody works more left-hand path energy in this situation. Let me do a cut of the deck on that. How is that going to work out in terms of, you know, how's that going to play out for, how's it going to play out for Leo? Let's ask this question. How's this going to play out for Leo? This will get your answers very, very cleanly in this situation. How is this going to play out for Leo, this spell work where that does apply? What's the judgment on that for Leo? Cut of the deck. Knight of Swords in reverse. This could be a little bit of a boomerang, I have to tell you. This can be, you know, who you view as the ops getting the upper hand in this situation. And it could be a very fast action coming your way, somebody with some really harsh words. So what you might be noticing is sort of like a riled up kind of like aggression, perhaps coming from this King of Wands energy. Might all of a sudden start firing off some messages to you, kind of going on the attack a little bit. Might start bringing up a bunch of stuff that happened in the past and sort of be telling you how it's going to go in the future. This like strong words. In a situation on the job where, you know, there was this kind of stuff thrown around, this could be like disciplinary action. All right. So something could be coming to light here, Leo. That's not for all of you, but for those of you who move that way. And this could have something to do with a Hierophant. So that would be Taurus energy. So perhaps this individual has a strong Taurus placement. All right. King of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this is somebody who has strong fire, air in their chart, and it's somebody who looks like they might be like taking some kind of strong action, have some strong words, like it comes in very quickly. It does look like there's some kind of disruption here in relation to that. Where that applies, that's not everybody's story, but if you've been messing around and if you've been playing with some stuff like that, it might be boomeranging in not the best way, Leo. Okay, just have to bring that in. All right, we're going to set that aside now. We're not going to continue on down that track, so I don't want to give that too much attention. It's never good when you see that kind of action coming up in a read, but when I see the indicators, we go into it. So let's see what this King of Wands has to say in this situation. What does this King of Wands have to say to you, Leo, about the situation? What does this King of Wands have to say to you, Leo, in this situation? It's like a King of Wands, King of Diamonds, King of Swords. So this could be somebody who's now your ex, or maybe there's recently been some kind of cutoff or split in this connection. And it could be in relation to this situation. There's a little bit of a tables turning in this situation. So let's see what this King of Wands, King of Diamonds, King of Swords has to say to you, Leo. This is somebody, you know, strong, fire, earth, air, all right? Definitely think this person used to be involved with this Queen of Spades energy. We do got matching energy coming up there with the King of Swords, okay? So they're probably separated at this point. There's been some separation that's occurred here. You know, Queen of Spades is blaming you. Your energy is kind of like everything's fair in love and war. Everything I did was justified kind of energy. And I ain't going to give up until I get what I want. You know, very kind of like you feel very strong in your conviction in this situation. So it'll be interesting to see what this King of Wands energy, King of Pentacles energy, King of Spades energy. We'll just call him the King at this point. Let's see what the King has to say. I mean, this King is feeling like he's tired of all this stuff. It's like one thing after another. There's always some kind of beef, some kind of drama, something that has to be ironed out in this situation. He's really sick and tired of dealing with it, with the 9 of Clubs coming to light here. In fact, so much so he's like, look, I just want to be fucking alone. Just like leave me alone. Everybody leave me alone. 9 of Diamonds coming up in the shadow. And, you know, this person is wanting a new beginning in another direction. This person also might be very focused on just creating their own like financial stability for themselves right now. They might be very focused on business matters. They might be preparing to take some really bold, strong new action in regard to their financial stability and their objectives. Some of them are preparing to like invest in property. I just got, all right. They might want to expand their business, something along these lines. They're really starting to look at where they want to invest their money. And they're not really looking at building with another. In other words, their commitment is to themselves at this point. And some people may view that as selfish, but they don't care. This is how they feel because they're really tired of the stress. They're tired of the headaches. They're tired of the anxiety, not knowing what's going to come at them next. There's always some kind of issue, you know, some kind of stress to deal with. This person's like sick of it, man. And they feel like for them, you know, their victory is just in being done with all of this. Now, we do see they do have love on the brain here, all right? And there are some messages that will be coming in around this. There will be some communication, all right? And they do want a new beginning, okay? They do want a new beginning in love. But they feel with you, there's like some kind of like, there's this push-pull dynamic in your connection that always leaves them unsatisfied. And they're ready to put an end to it with the Ace of Spades here, you know? There's just too much drama in this situation. So it's like soured something that used to be good for them with the Six of Hearts coming up in the shadow here. Yeah, and look at it. This person wants to be a free agent. We got the Jack of Clubs coming up here. That's not somebody who wants to like have a commitment. This is somebody who wants to be free to do what they want to do. And perhaps this is their new beginning in love, is they're like, look, I just want to have fun. I don't want to get into anything heavy. I want to keep it light and easy and breezy. I just want to like go out on lots of dates and hook up with people and flirt and have a good time. I don't want a commitment, you know, and they just feel like that they don't like this energy. It throws them off, man. They do not like this energy. It's too much drama. With the Five of Clubs coming up in the shadow, they're like, it's time to really like, this needs to be over and done with. Like, let it go. Let it go. It's gone on too long. Four of Spades in the shadow. You may view this as a bad thing, but yeah, I got a lot of options, and I like to, you know, have fun. I like to have fun, and I'm not about to stop. You can think that's selfish of me. You can think it's rude of me. You can have a problem with it. I don't care, because this is who I am. Four of Clubs coming out of the shadow. This person's totally unapologetic. Totally unapologetic. Like they feel like this is like, no, what you want and what I want are two different things, and we're not in alignment on this level. And you need to get a new view. You need to get a new view. You need to look at things in a new way, because what you want to see happen between us, it ain't going to go down that way. All right? Very interesting. What do you have to say to this King of Wands energy here? They got strong fire. They could also have air and earth in their chart, but there's definitely some fire in this person on the real. Okay, a lot of fires come up in association with this individual. Sagittarius strongly indicated. So far, that's the main indicators for Earth. Real strong Taurus energy is coming in there. Air sign could be any, really, but with the King of Spades, it's often an Aquarius significator. Right? Yeah. Four of Hearts in the light. This person's just like, I don't want this. Like, I don't want this. And I think you feel it too. I think you're starting to like really see, Leo, that there is something about this dynamic that's not quite healthy, not quite right. And you might be, you know, looking to balance that out. What else do you have to say, Leo? What else do you have to say to this King of Wands energy? What else do you have to say to this King of Wands energy? It's almost like you're taking kind of a mature point of view, like you're like, well, I can kind of see where you're coming from with that, you know, sort of like the way you're receiving it, that you recognize that there's something in the dynamic that isn't quite right. It doesn't feel quite right. It leaves you feeling disappointed. Yeah, I mean, look, you're coming out like this, Queen of Diamonds in the shadow. Like you may be telling this person that All they care about is the superficial. All they care about is, you know, how a person looks or what they have, or you feel like they take advantage of people in this way, sort of like they glom onto whoever will make them look better in their mind, you know, like almost like you feel like this person is a clout chaser. They're just really, they just play things on the surface. Like they go for the next shiny, glimmery thing. And you feel like, you know, that's really kind of like not cool, not cool. And you feel like they didn't really value you, that they didn't see your value, and that they promised you, you know, this beautiful future. Like you really feel like they filled your head with this fantasy, and it just was all a bunch of BS. You feel really betrayed by this person. Yep, you do. You feel really betrayed by this person. This came to light for you. You didn't realize how bad it was. You kind of had your suspicions. I get that you approached this person with your suspicions before and they denied everything. Filled your head with all the sweet talk, you know, maybe love bombed you a bit. You bought into it. But then when it came to light, you felt really foolish because you were just like, I knew it. Why didn't I trust my intuition? And I think you're telling this person, hey, I have no problem letting this go. Like, I don't want this. I want something better. You're also kind of saying, I got options too. With the Seven of Hearts coming up in the light. And then right behind that, you got the Ace of Diamonds in the shadows. So I get, for those of you who have been kind of blocking this person, it's sort of like you're cock blocking this person because you feel like they did you so dirty that you're like, I'm not going to let you just walk away from this and have what you want. So there could be like a little bit of this like kind of like undercut kind of energy where you just like want to get your licks in because you feel like this person really did you foul. But, you know, do you really want to do that? Is it really worth it at the end of the day? You know, maybe this didn't turn out the way you wanted to, but there's something here about, there's some need to maybe understand that this person doesn't have to necessarily be a bad person. I don't know. I'm getting this sense of sort of like, you know who this person is, and you've always known who this person is, and you know what you signed up for. And you still do have love for this individual with the Six of Hearts coming up here. Like, you do have a soulmate connection with this person. It's just not meant to be what you were hoping it would be, as in like, you know, the white picket fence, the American dream, like this is the man I'm going to marry or the woman I'm going to marry, and this is my one and only. I mean, it's really got big masculine energy here, but you know, you can flip-flop gender roles as you need to have it apply. You know, this person isn't bad. They're not. They're coming up in the light. They're honest about who they are, but it's just they can't conform to what you want them to be. So why does it have to be a negative thing where you have to have a problem with this person? It's sort of like, it's almost like you're being advised to like have a communication with this person and speak from your heart and at least close things out on a positive level with the 10 of Spades here. Leave it off on, you know, a positive note, because it just looks like there is affection there. There is mutuality. There's love there that's shared between the two of you. It's just you're two different people who want two different things. And so is anybody really wrong in that situation? Not really. All right. Again, I feel like you're you're like, no. You really feel like this person's a jerk. Look at this. You feel like this person's a real manipulator. You really don't appreciate the way they worked you. You feel really betrayed by this individual. And you're like, I'm donezo. Okay? I'm donezo. Like, I'm not going to be revisiting this situation. And if this is a situation that's involved work, like if this was somebody that you were a business partner with, or there was like some kind of something you were working on together as well, like a project or whatever, you're like, and I'm done with that too. I can go my own way. I can do my own thing. You're really like not wanting to be affected on the security level again. And you feel like this individual really rocked your security. And it's like you're telling them, no, 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 no. I am done, 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 done. And you really need to get the memo about that. Like, you might find that this person still wants to have, you know, a connection with you, and maybe even wants to have a connection beyond what you feel like you're willing to give in this situation, because in order to sort of like conform to what this King of Wands feels is appropriate for him in this situation, it really requires you to compromise what's right for you on a level that's just so like unfair. It's completely inequitable. And you're just like, no, no, there's no negotiation here. And you're going to discover and learn as I play my hand in this situation. I'm not going to keep going in this direction because it's way, way, way out of balance. I do have to say that some of this might get a little like messy or be illuminated online. Try not to be dramatic, Leo, because that doesn't always work out so well. One or both of you may get traumatic online, okay? But yeah, where you're hoping for like some kind of commitment or fulfillment of promises to come in here, this energy is blocked. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to move forward. And for those who did, you know, any kind of blocking work, that's for a very, you know, select few of you. I don't think that's the majority of you, but it did come in. And it looked like in that case, it would be Leo kind of on the reverse end of that. So for those of you who did that work, you're going to find that things are slowing down for you and blocking for you, okay, in this matter. But that's only for a few of you. This looks like a situation that just, it had some competitiveness in it, and there's a lot of misunderstanding. Looks like there was some kind of, used to be a friendly connection you had with somebody that's fallen out as a result, you know, a feminine in this situation. And there's been some division created among people that were supposed to connect, all right? So something just didn't pan out the way you thought it would, and it's been a bit of a disappointment for you. Let's see, what do I want to get here for you in this situation? I feel like I want to get a Halloween oracle, okay? Let's see what's gonna come out of this instance here. So it seems like there's a lot of letting go that's happening in this situation, and yet it seems like this King of Wands energy is really wanting everything to be amicable, maybe even still wants to have a connection, but just, you know, on his terms. That's what it feels like. I mean, it is a little bit of a selfish energy. So especially if promises were made to you, I can understand why you would feel that way, Leo, right? There's something here that doesn't feel fair to you. I also think there's been some real like kind of heated emotions in this situation, and a bit of competitiveness is definitely at the forefront in this matter. So let's just see what's going to be on the other side of this for Leo. Let's get sort of an overarching theme of what this is all about. What's on the other side of this for Leo? Looks like there's some karmic balancing happening in this situation. You know, for those who jumped the gun and did any kind of like blocking work, or maybe you thought it was protective work. Maybe you assumed somebody was doing something towards you and they actually weren't, you know. It looks like for those who did any kind of working, something went awry in this situation. There, you didn't have a clear understanding of the situation. I get that some of you may have done it from the angle of like protective, like you thought you needed to do some kind of protective working, and actually you didn't. That's why you got to be careful with throwing stuff around. People talk about return to senders all the time, and it's like, you know, if you're thinking negatively and you're thinking, you know, that somebody's attacking you or doing something against you, and you're like, well, return to sender, that's the energy you're putting out, and you're the one who's sending it. So that energy will return to you. You know, people don't think about that. And really, any type of statement, intention with fueled emotion behind it, you know, definitely is just like casting something out there. You know, this is interesting. I think that a lot of this is happening on a communal level. So you might share people in common, right? And it looks like there's something that can come out of this, okay? Though you may think that everything is just a big mess right now, and maybe it is, all right? Maybe it is. Maybe right now it doesn't look quite the way you planned, but I feel like it's important for you to be mindful of the interconnection in this situation, because you got spider, community, and web weaving here. Now, first of all, I think that, you know, where there's been any kind of deceit or where there's been lies that have been told, obviously this can weaken things on a level of people being able to like work together, come together, work through things. I feel like there's a lot of illumination happening in these areas, but I also feel like you're not recognizing that there is a potential here to bring things together in a new way. It feels like, at least on the part of this King of Wands energy, he still wants to maintain a connection. Yes, you all see things differently, you want different things, but this person is just kind of saying, you know, I am who I am, and I can only be who I am. 56 on the clock, you know, and you're either in alignment with me or you're not. Like, you either really care about me or you don't. And there does seem to need to be this piece here, though, where there needs to be more kind of working together in this situation. You know, maybe there's a big mess that needs to be ironed out, and there are a few people involved. This could be a polyamorous type of connection. Whether you willingly entered that or not, you're maybe discovering that that's what it is. And if that's the case, and if things have gotten kind of messy, and especially if it's gotten messy on the job, because like some jobs are like that, you know, it's like all the coworkers are like hooking up with each other, and then somebody catches the feels, and then things get really competitive on the job, and it can be a big problem. There is a need to iron this out on a community level. 56, 56 on the clock, 11, 11, like something is meant to come into alignment here. And it's sort of like, yeah, it might be a mess now, but there's a way for things to come together in a way that works for everybody, because it says community and web weaving. So this is about understanding that you're not the only one affected in this situation, that there's other people affected too, and that everybody should kind of work together to iron this out in a way where everybody wins, you know? And maybe things don't turn out exactly the way you hope, but it doesn't mean that there's not something good that can still come out of it. So I feel like you're being challenged a bit. I feel like you're being challenged a bit. And also to be mindful where work is involved, where business is involved, public reputation is involved. You want to be mindful of this, because, you know, who you know, it can speak volumes, and you want to keep good relationships going, especially if there's any kind of like, you know, networking involved in that situation. So be mindful of how you move through this. Make sure that you're aware of that, especially online. Even if you're provoked, you would be wise to sort of like pull your energy back and not take the bait. And I say that because I feel like you're really about to head into a time of greater expansion. You're going to be making a lot of connections. You have an opportunity to really expand your reach, especially if you do any kind of work online. So you want to make sure that the image you're presenting is true to who you are at your core, and not who you are when you're reactive because somebody is like dinging your sensitive places. You know what I'm saying? Just keep in mind your goals and your visions for your own life and what you're wanting to create for yourself, so you don't shoot yourself in the foot. All right? Because people are paying attention right now. And I feel like you're about to head into a period of expansion, so you don't want to sabotage yourself. Stay focused, Leo, okay? And just open your mind to, there could be a new way to move forward where everybody benefits. And watch and see what happens. There's a little divine play in this situation. Things may turn around better than you anticipate after a little karma is doled out. I feel like in this situation, there's some kind of karmic balancing happening, okay? There's some situation is turning around. What was wrong will be righted. But in the end, there's a way to still bring things together so everybody benefits. Be mindful of this.